Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a really interesting one, the Can-Am Ryker.
It's a unique machine.
It is, and every upgrade has to deal with its digital governor, the vehicle stability system, the VSS. So our mission today is to figure out the expert-approved steps to maximize its handling before that VSS kicks in.
That's the whole game right there. Because of that Y-frame geometry, you have to follow a strict order of operations. The biggest bang for your buck, the highest ROI, is always fixing the foundational stuff first.
And that was the most surprising thing in the sources. The big improvements, they don't start with $1,000 shocks. They start with what experts were calling systemic setup failures.
Right.
And number one was tire pressure.
Oh, it's not just a performance issue, it's a major safety issue. We've seen brand new machines with front tires as low as 17 PSI.
17, wow. And the spec is what?
The spec is 20 PSI cold to front and 28 in the rear. And we're seeing rears at 23, 23.5. That's a 15 to 20% under inflation. That's
right.
Well, it's dangerous.
So if a dealer sends you out the door like that, what does that actually feel like to the rider? What are the symptoms?
Sluggish steering, for one. A real lack of stability at speed. And you're just increasing the risk of tire delamination, maybe even a blowout. It is the single biggest, easiest fix you can make.
Okay, so that's job one. Check your tire pressure. What's the second foundational fix?
Suspension preload. It almost always leaves the factory at level 1, the softest setting.
Which gives you that horrible wallowing feeling in the corners.
Exactly. That wallowing, and then you hit a bump and it just bottoms out hard. So for any kind of aggressive riding, or honestly for most heavier riders, you have to increase that preload.
What's the practical number?
If you're riding 2 up, you just go straight to level 5, no question. For a solo rider who's pushing it, you probably want to be at a 3 or 4. It restores the proper ride height and gives the suspension room to actually work. Okay, so foundations are fixed, tire pressure's right, preload is set. I want that on-rails feeling. What is the first piece of hardware I should be buying? The anti-sway bar, hands down. The stock one just allows way too much body roll, that lateral tilt when you dive into a corner.
So you're fighting the machine.
You are. An upgraded bar, like the one from Bajorn, dramatically increases the torsional rigidity. This is the one upgrade where people consistently say, wow, I felt that immediately.
It gives you that sharp, locked-in feel.
It does.
Okay, but what about the other problem? That sudden, violent handlebar shake you get on uneven roads. Bump steer. That's a huge confidence killer.
It is, and for that you need a steering damper or a stabilizer. It's basically the same kind of tech they use in MotoGP.
So it's just smooth things out.
It applies controlled resistance to really sudden high-speed inputs. It just dampens those oscillations, makes everything feel smooth and responsive, and, it actually reduces how tired you feel after a long ride.
Now we get to what the sources call the ultimate limit. Even with a perfect setup, you're still stuck with the stock Kenda tires.
And they are the bottleneck. I mean, the reviews are brutal. Very poor traction on dry pavement. One source just called the wet grip scary.
Which brings us to the controversial dark side solution.
Yeah.
This is where people start putting car tires on the back.
Yeah, and it works because the Ryker uses a common automotive size, like a 2555 R15. So you can mount a super sticky car tire, like a Yokohama 8 Van Flava, and get incredible grip and longevity.
What's the catch? Why is it the dark side?
Because it's not an approved part. A dealer won't install it because of liability. And you're putting a flat profile car tire on a machine that's meant to lean, so it fundamentally changes the handling dynamics. It's an expert level modification for sure.
Okay, so that's a big decision. If you move past that, you're in the world of big ticket suspension. Elka versus Fox. What's the real difference?
I'd boil it down to precision versus convenience. The Elka Stage 2 shocks, they are custom tuned specifically for your weight and your riding style. They are dialed in just for you.
And the Fox?
The Fox QS3 system is all about convenience. You get a little dial with 3 settings you can change easily. But the sources suggest that for all that money, the performance reviews are pretty mixed. You don't always get better performance than a properly set up Elka. So, to wrap up the strategy here, first, fix the foundations, PSI and preload, no excuses. Then stabilize the chassis with the sway bar and the damper. And only then, after all that, do you worry about maximizing the contact patch with better shocks or, going to the dark side with tires.
What does all this really mean? I think the final piece is that the VSS is always watching you.
Yeah.
It's the digital ceiling.
It's the governor.
Exactly. Every single mechanical upgrade we just talked about. It's all an effort to push the bike's mechanical handling threshold so high that you never ever trigger the VSS in aggressive riding. Handling excellence on this machine is really about operating just below the computer's panic button.